honesty time. Has your business ever felt a bit like a hamster wheel? Perhaps you have constantly been seeing faces, checking the boxes of all the things a good sales director should be doing, and adding new agreements even, yet you never feel like you're making big progress in the way of unit size or scaling your unit sales. Has it ever felt like that to you? Okay, there may be a reason for that, and you very well could have a retention problem. So you know what cycle I would rather see you on? Instead of a hamster wheel where you're doing the same activity but making little progress, I want you to imagine a spiral staircase, okay? You would take those repeated actions over and over again, but with each time you take a step, you continue to climb higher and higher and make progress. That is the cycle that we want to be on, right?
Right.
Okay, so you're going to need to learn how to retain your team members, your customers, and your key players to be able to do that. So what does retention mean in a leadership role in Mary Kay? To me, it's more than just people not quitting, okay? To me, it's the ability to welcome new team members into your unit that stay and thrive and hopefully move up the career path. And it also means customers that come back and continue to keep buying their beloved products, even trying new ones, maybe even joining your team. And it's when your offspring sales directors step out on their own, filled with confidence and equipped with the knowledge of what to do. Why? Because you modeled it for them. I believe that's what Mary Kay Ash had in mind for us when she created this company. So when you grow your unit size, your customer base, and the amount of offspring sales directors you have, you know what else grows? Your income. Done. Okay? But also, you could scale your unit club. You could change the color of your car. You may find yourself on a top sales director trip, or maybe even get the traction to start building your very own national area. So let's dive in, okay? Because this is important. Whether it's customers or team members, I have a theory for why people either join you or buy from you. Are you ready?
Yes.
This is my theory. I believe people join the girl that they believe is going places. Not necessarily the girl with the most accolades, okay? It's not necessarily a pink car or a fancy title. That's why I was able to recruit new team members back when I drove a 2001 beat up, keyed up both sides Dodge Durango, okay? People still joined my team because I was going somewhere. So I want you to think back, like actually really do this with me. I want you to think of your first hostess, okay? You got her? I want you to think of your first few customers who pops into your head and your first couple recruits. Did they join you because you were perfect or accomplished? Or did they join you because you were passionate?
Right.
So then, what about the teams we already lead? What influences them now that they're here? I think it's similar. Is their leader going places? I want you to go with me again back to when you were a brand new beauty consultant yourself. I know all of us in here have different stories and journeys, but since we're all Salesforce leaders, something had to go right somewhere along the way for us to want to stay here, keep building our businesses, even after we experienced disappointments and failures, right? Something somewhere had to go right. So think to yourself, what did my leader do well that made me want to stay here? I think of my own journey. I came in with very little confidence, and so therefore, like pretty much no goals for what I wanted to do in my business. I was just gonna give it a shot. But man, my commitment and desire to figure it out rose very quickly in my first week of joining. And what was the reason for that? Well, I'll tell you. I happened to join a winning team. My sales director was going places. She was selling the products and adding new personal recruits and leading a slamming weekly meeting every single week. Other women in her unit were winning. They were having huge sales weeks. They were going on target for the use of a career car. They were star consultants, and they were bringing guests to the meeting. And it quickly informed me of what was normal and what fun I could be having if I put myself out there and got to work. That's where the desire came from, was my environment. So it boiled down to this for me. My leadership mattered. Yeah. The environment that I was a part of mattered. And it changed the trajectory of my entire business. As a matter of fact, if I had not had a sales director that was winning and creating this kind of environment, I might not be here on the stage today. It really was that impactful. So how about you? Did your leadership do something really right for you and want to stick around, move up, keep going, and dream big? Did it matter for you like it mattered for me? I personally believe that leadership matters. Therefore, if you want to have beauty consultants that are bought in, you must first be bought in. Right. If you want unit members that will stay for years, you must first be immovable in your commitment to stay. Yeah. If you want recruits to rise along the career path, then you must first take your own winning seriously and continue to rise to new heights. If you want thriving offspring sales directors, you must first thrive so that they can dream to have what you have and model what you do. If you're taking notes, you can write this down. Retention requires excellence. Right. It requires energy. And the sooner you can accept that no one has to stay in your unit, the sooner you can be real with yourself about the opportunity you have to create a place where people want to stay, okay? So to have a thriving environment like that, it's more than just automated systems, friends. To lead requires excellence, and it requires energy. So before I can give you tips and strategies and maybe even some systems to retain your hard work, I have to make sure you get this. Your leadership matters. Your intention in your business matters. Your level of personal development matters. Anytime I have turned my own business around and gotten back on track, which I've had to do a few times, it started with taking ownership of me. I expected something out of myself before I did the people that I led. And I've learned that people really love to follow a leader like that. I've also found I can make progress a whole lot faster because in the end, we can only control ourselves. We can't really control the people that we lead. So I want you to ask yourself right now, where could I be more intentional in my business? Are there any areas that I'm just going through the motions instead of leading with passion? Is there an area I could start winning in again? Some of the answers to these questions have the power to change your entire business if you will answer them honestly. Right. Okay, so now that we're ready to take responsibility, yes, let's talk about a few things you could start doing right away to create an environment that team members and customers want to be a part of for years. Like we've already established, the new beauty consultant experience really actually does matter for long-term success. So of course, our goal for a new beauty consultant is to help them get Great Start qualified, yes, and also selling products right away. You really need both to happen in order to have a happy new consultant, I believe. Right. Because when I was getting started, my first qualified order did feel like a win. You know, I was excited about those free bundles, but if I hadn't had any sales after the fact, it would have fallen flat. Wouldn't you guys agree? It would have been the same for you? So as a sales director, you really want to be able to confidently guide your new beauty consultants to get them on the path that's right for them. So do you gather information from your new team members, finding out what they want? By getting on the same page with her about her desires, then you can confidently explain her new options, helping her come up with a plan, helping her get into action. And every woman is different. So our job is to welcome her in with confidence and help her get started where she can. Your confidence and professionalism will encourage her to take those first steps. So make sure your new beauty consultants feel your support. So with that being said, you should be having conversations with your new beauty consultants multiple times a week, maybe even daily, because what you're going to be doing is checking in on them to find out the progress they're making, helping them set up their first party, collaborating with them on their first order, etc., etc. New consultants tend to have a lot of questions if they're getting into action. So if you don't feel like your weekly schedule looks or feels like this, like if you don't feel like you're talking to new consultants a lot, that means one of two things are happening. Either you are simply not connecting with your new consultants enough, or you are simply not adding enough new consultants. So set a goal to be welcoming at least one new consultant into your unit every week that you can really work with. Get in there with her, and then you can grow from there. Because friends, you cannot retain what you do not have. So the cool thing is, if you have new consultants winning, then it's gonna make your environment overall feel so much better. But those seasoned beauty consultants, we also wanna see them winning, because they in turn inspire our new consultants to go for it, and they show them what's possible. That was the case for me. So if you're taking notes, write this down. Consultants that are making money will not feel like quitting. Go figure. A beauty consultant who is regularly growing her customer base and making money and having fun will continue to do so and to dream big. So what do you have in place then that fosters a desire for your base unit members to want to keep dreaming and trying after the newness of her business has worn off? Here are some tried and true things that just work and have been working for decades. And hopefully you're already doing a lot of them. 1, a monthly newsletter celebrating all kinds of accomplishments. Independent Executive National Sales Director Emeritus Kathy Halou said, "That which gets praised and recognized gets done. Therefore, start recognizing everything that you want to see happen." This could be event registration, bookings, career path, weekly sales, star consultant. You get the picture. Start upping your recognition in every area. Next, an incredible weekly meeting. This can be in person or Zoom, but do you have something weekly that your team can be a part of? I have had to reimagine my unit meetings several times, gang, especially with the pandemic. So don't be afraid to try a new fun themed education series, or do a raffle drawing for on-time beauty consultants. Send out personal text invites to remind them of the meeting, and recognize those who did attend. Remember, that which gets praised and recognized gets done. You could also just lovingly check in on someone who's missed some recent meetings and help them re-engage. I remember when my sales director did that for me in the beginning, and it made a huge difference getting me back to the meeting. So who in your unit comes to mind that you could check in on this week? Okay, moving on. Something else you could do is create a system for checking in on your unit members purely out of love. Think about sending a birthday e-card, a little note or gift for her anniversary, dropping a sympathy card in the mail if they've experienced a loss in their personal life. Things like this are what set the Mary Kay culture apart from other communities, and it's gonna help you develop trust and connection with your people, and it's also just the Mary Kay way. So remember, we lead volunteer armies, so to speak. So show gratitude for these women by taking an interest in them as people and not just consultants that can boost your sales volume. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the Mary Kay way. So something else you should be doing is setting aside time every day to check in on those who have career path goals. Find out how their appointments are going. See if they have any potential recruits that they could use your help closing. And just encouraging them when their hope is waning or they experience a disappointment, because they will. When they know that you're checking in on them, it is going to help them to keep taking those steps towards their goals and their dreams. So do not underestimate the value of your influence in their lives. Of course, once a month, obviously, you're probably already doing this, but once a month, be sure to update beauty consultants on their activity status and give them a chance to reactivate. So now we're talking more about like a system here, but what that can look like aside from text could be like sending a postcard, utilizing the consultant first look program that the company offers to send out lookbooks. And we want to be updating them when new products launch, right? Because don't forget, your base unit members are the biggest lovers of the products, even if some of them are not actively adding new customers. So we want to give them a chance to stay in the loop. And that's an example of a really great system for retention. I just don't think that it's enough. I can't just have that as our only strategy for retention, because these are people that need our love, attention, and support. So is there anything else that comes to mind for you that works for you when it comes to retaining those unit members? At the end of the day, there is no perfect formula for creating an engaging, dynamic unit culture that people want to be a part of for years. You're gonna find your own way of doing that. We all find our own way of doing that, but one thing I know for sure, it will require you to be sold out, intentional, committed to the process, leading with love and empathy. And the good news is, all of those things are entirely within your control. So did you hear something today that nudged you to show up a little bit more intentionally for your unit? I hope so. I had a great time with you guys today. May all of you have an explosive second half to your seminar year. I'm cheering you on, and I love you.
Let's hear it again for Independent National Sales Director, Jamie Taylor.